Hare Krishna. So, this evening we continue our discussion on how to achieve spiritual steadiness. Yes. And yesterday we mentioned that there is one prerequisite for stepping on the path of devotional service. And do you remember what is it? Faith. Yes. And as we discussed, faith is necessary for whatever we do in our life. And for all other processes as well. For jnana yoga, for karma yoga, for anything. We need faith. If we wouldn't have faith, that means that we wouldn't do anything. Because if you want to pursue something in your life, you have to have faith in it. Otherwise, you won't do anything, or you would do it just because someone is telling you to do, and you would be not with your heart. And so, even if the process would work, you wouldn't achieve anything. Because you wouldn't do it with your heart. So, faith means that we do it with our heart, that really believe in the process. And faith is, in bhakti, is not just some blind faith, we explained, but it is faith in Shastra. Yes, faith in Shastra. That means Shastriya Shraddha. It shouldn't be Lokiki Shraddha, what people are telling, what other devotees, many times it can be some wrong idea. Or maybe it's not pure devotional service, the path of pure devotional service. So if it is not, and we considered it important for our life, or that we should apply like this, then we will not follow the path of pure devotional service. And so we will not achieve the goal of pure devotional service. Because our sadhya depends on our sadhana. Yes, so if our sadhana is not pure devotional service, so our goal will also not be pure devotional service. It's impossible. So if we don't train to be, good power lifter, we train chess instead of powerlifting, we'll never be good power lifter. Yes, I'm lifting these figures. But it's impossible. So this is, of course, a crude example, but to get the idea that if we don't practice something, we cannot achieve something else. Yes, so faith. And we didn't mention particularly how we get this faith. What do you think? How do we get this faith in Shastra? Yes?
By people who have faith in Shastra, association with it?
Yes, in fact, you are right, but it's not explained like this. It is plain yadrichaya. Yadrichaya matkatadu jata shrodrastu yahmaman. Nanirvina nati sakto bhakti-yoga se siddhita. That we get faith yadrichaya. And yadrichaya means somehow or other. Who knows how? And it's many times it's translated, this yadrichaya, as by Krishna's mercy, or by providence, or by, and this is explained by Jiva Goswami, that this yadrichaya means in fact mercy of the devotees, as you mentioned, because Krishna's mercy is manifesting through mercy of the devotees. Uh, and so we get this faith. But this faith should be cultivated. It's not just you acquire a faith, some faith, but we should um, know the science very properly. So we should study and hear. Therefore, Prabhupada said that hearing is most important. Without proper hearing, that means also reading, of course, and studying, nothing can be accomplished. Because we will not chant the holy names, which is Yuga Dharma, and the process for this age. We will not chant in proper consciousness. And if we don't chant in proper consciousness, then we cannot achieve our goal we are striving for. Or in fact, we will have other goals. Maybe we have heard many times that prema, Krishna prema is the highest goal. But we may say this is our goal, but we act differently. We put our other goals in our mind. For example, to go back home, back to Godhead. This we hear many times. But as I can hear many times among devotees, this back home, back to Godhead is just another name for heaven to enjoy, not with the purpose to become a servant of the servant of the servant, but with the purpose to everlasting enjoyment. Isn't it? So this is wrong mentality, wrong consciousness. So we will not achieve our goal. It doesn't matter what words we put. It's a matter of consciousness. It's a matter of consciousness. So we should cultivate this faith by proper understanding, by hearing from authorities, by studying books, Prabhupada's books, and books of our acharyas. They are all meant for us, these books. It's not for those who are not devotees. They are also meant for them to become devotees, but especially for us to study and properly understand them. Yes, that's why it's so important to properly understand what is pure devotional service. The whole nectar of devotion, or Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, which is one of the most important books in our sampradaya, is explained only to understand what is pure devotional service. And it starts with the definition of pure devotional service, with two definitions of pure devotional service. So it is really important to understand properly what is pure devotional service and what is not. And this is Sambandha Jnana, that we understand our position and what is the right attitude and so on. This should be understood. And who is Krishna? What is his position? Because if we don't understand thoroughly, as Prabhupada explains, if we don't understand thoroughly, if we don't study first 9 cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam, we cannot understand the 10th canto properly. Yes. Then we will consider Krishna to be object of our enjoyment. But we are the object of Krishna's enjoyment. so we will completely mixed up the proper consciousness. Yes. That's why it's important to hear and hear and hear. Because we can hear, but we don't apply, we don't internalize what we hear. So we should hear repeatedly. Nityam Bhagavata Seva. repeatedly and repeatedly and repeatedly hear. Every day, without any exception. You should hear and read Srimad Bhagavatam. And when we come to the end, we start at the beginning again. Yes. So, yes, faith. And then, after Shraddha, comes Sadhu Sanga. Because we have faith in the process, then we, of course, try to associate with those who have similar faith as we do. This is natural because we are social beings. We will always seek some company, but it's really important what company we keep, because the birds of the same feather flock together. So, if we will associate with materialists, we'll definitely become materialists ourselves, because their ideas will be brought to our desires. In fact, we associate it with this material nature from time immemorial. So we have deeply ingrained our material desires, and we will definitely cultivate material desires if we have material association. No doubt about it. So we should know, but on the other hand, what is dangerous on the spiritual path, as is explained by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, there are also dharma-dvajis, those who are seemingly devotees, and they have kantimala and tilak and dhoti, but they're not devotees, in fact, or they're not, they don't have faith in pure devotional service. And these dharma-dvajis, who just declared that I'm a devotee, this is dharma, and dvaja means the flag, so this is my flag. These dharma-dvajis are in fact more dangerous company than materialists, because when we associate with materialists, we know these are materialists, they don't have any interest in spiritual life. But dharma-dvajis are apparently devotees. So one would think this is much better association. But if they don't have proper understanding and desires in devotional service and proper consciousness, they are worse company than materialists. Yes. Therefore, we should know with whom to associate and with whom not. And it is explained in Nectar of Instruction in Upadeshamrita by Rupa Goswami. He begins with who is proper association and who is not. And he says, Vacho vegam manasa krodha vegam, jihva vegam udarapasta vegam, edan vegan yovishachita diraha, edan vegan yovishachita diraha, sarvam api mam pritivim sasishyat. That means that devotee should control his different pushings. Vachovegam, that is the pushing or of, sorry? Urges, yes. Urge of speaking. Yes. It's very good, thank you. Vachovegam. Vacho means speaking. That means Vachovegam, urge to speak. So, in spiritual history, there are many people who knew this, that tongue is very difficult to control, especially speaking. So, and of course eating also. So they took a vow of silence, mauni vrata, mauna vrata. But this is not necessary in devotional service to be mauna vrata, to observe mauna vrata. But to engage our speech, because it's God-given gift, speech. So we should engage everything in God's service. This is our philosophy. Not to deny something which is God-given, but to engage in the service of the Lord. So our speech should be, of course, devoted to the Lord's service. Svacha Vegam. Manasa Krodha Vegam. Manasa means the mind. So, of course, we cannot observe mind directly, but indirectly it's possible. Because the face and actions are indicator of the mind. So we, of course, we should be very careful with our examination. What people are thinking, and what's in the heart, what's in the mind, that will come out also from the mouth. This is also in the Bible. Jesus said, whatever the heart is full, that will come out from the mouth. So we can judge by the words also what the person is thinking. And Krodha is very good indicator. Krodha means anger, because anger is very difficult to control when there is some provocation. So Prabhupada said that one's greatness has to be estimated by the ability how one can control how he is reacting to the provoking situations. So we should observe if people get easily angry or upset or are easily offended by nothing. We should know that they're not advanced much. And of course, but still, if they are sincere, we can have company of sincere people, even if they're not advanced. But even if they are advanced but not sincere, we should avoid them. But usually, the unsincere people cannot become advanced. Yes. Jihva Vegam is, of course, urge of tongue. And this means of tasting good food. So we should not be attached that we should get the best food or to get sweets. This is hard one for me. I like sweets very much. Yes, but we shouldn't be attached to this. And udara pastavigam. Udara means belly. So that means we want to fill up the belly too much. So we should also control the urge of the belly and genitals. And the one who is able to control all these urges is master, spiritual master of everyone in this world, in fact. And then Rupa Goswami further explains what is beneficial for devotional service and what is not. First, he explains what is beneficial, what is not beneficial for devotional service, and begins with atyahara. Atyahara means too much eating. Ahara means eating or collecting. Usually means eating. So, if we overeat, this is not beneficial for our devotional service. Atyahara prayasa. Prayasa means too much endeavoring for material accomplishments. So, we should have time for devotional service. We shouldn't be implicated in some work that doesn't allow us time for our spiritual practice. Yes. Otherwise, we have other ideas what is our priority in life. But if we are devotees and we understand what precious gift is pure devotional service and love of God, then we would completely devote our life to this. And we will not put anything to be of higher priority than devotional service. Of course, we have to work in material life outside to survive. As Krishna explains also in 3rd chapter of Bhagavad-Gita, that no one can be inactive even for a moment, and if we don't perform our work, we cannot even maintain our life. But immediately he explains that we should engage all our abilities for work and all our fruits of our work for the pleasure of the Lord, in the yagya for the Lord. Yagyartat karma non yatra loka karma bandhana tadartam apikanta mukta sangha samachara. And then we will be always free. Otherwise, we will be just bound by our action. But if we don't perform devotional service really properly, we will not have proper consciousness. So we will be just bound. We will be slaves. As we have been slaves from time immemorial. And then we'll just maintain this slavish mentality. Yes. But illusion plays very tricky, that we think we are masters. But really we are slaves. Just slaves of our passions. Yes, and material desires. But under the influence of illusion, we think, yes, I'm powerful, I'm strong, I can do whatever I want, and I can achieve whatever I want. It's great illusion. Madness, in fact. Madness. Yes, so we should know who is proper association. And then we should have loving relationship, of course. It's also explained in Upadeshamrita. And we have many examples from scriptures. What is the proper association? What is proper exchange of love? For example, we should serve devotees. This is the proper attitude to the devotees. There is an example in Chaitanya Charitamrita of Shivananda Sena. Have you heard about Shivananda Sena? Shivananda Sena was one of the most dear servants, dear devotees of Lord Chaitanya. And every year, the devotees from Bengal, from Mayapur and other places, the group of hundreds of devotees, in fact, to Puri for Ratha Yatra and to associate with Lord Chaitanya, who is living there. And Shivananda Sena organized the whole trip there. And at the time, there were many smaller states. And at the borders of these states, you had to pay taxes to cross the border. And these tax collectors were all corrupt and demanded more than necessary. And these tax collectors are known also in the Bible, because Jesus preached to tax collectors and these Pharisees, how they're called, they criticize Jesus, that he mingles with the most degraded sinners, who are tax collectors. So there were tax collectors, and he financed everything: these taxes, food, accommodation, and not just on the path, but also when they arrived in Puri for 4 months they were there or something like this, and he financed everything. And one day a dog joined their party when they were walking towards Puri, Jagannath Puri. And Shivananda Sen accepted the dog as one of the devotees, in fact, because the dog was walking along with this party. And Shivananda Sena especially ordered that special rice should be cooked for this dog, because this dog didn't eat normal food of the devotees. So special arrangements for this dog were made by Shivananda Sena. And the boatmen didn't want to take dog on their boats to the other side of rivers, because this is a dog, no dog allowed on my boat. So he had to pay double or triple price for a dog to go with them on the other side of the river. And yes, and one time he had problems with tax collectors, and all the devotees went ahead, and he instructed his helpers that please be careful not to forget about feeding the dog. And when he finally succeeded to settle everything with tax collectors, he came there and he couldn't find the dog. And he asked, "Where is the dog?" And no one knew. And he asked those devotees, "Did you feed the dog as I told you to?" And they said, "Oh, we forgot." And so he was searching for this dog, and feeling his responsibility, that he's responsible for offending this devotee in the dog's body. And he couldn't find it, and he was really devastated. And then when they arrived in Jagannath Puri, they saw that Lord Chaitanya, who was eating mango, he was taking out the pieces of mango he tasted, and was throwing in the mouth of this dog. And he instructed the dog to chant Hare Krishna, and the dog chanted Hare Krishna, and went directly to Vaikuntha. Hare Krishna. So we should take this example, how it is important to serve the devotees. Yes, this is proper attitude, to serve the devotees. Yes, and to find the association of devotees who are who have the same mood as we have, same understanding. This is really important. Otherwise, we will start to criticize others. Instead to get spiritually enriched, we will spiritually degrade. So it's important to, or we will be disturbed by with devotees. So we should seek for the same-minded association. This is also natural. We should understand this. Yes. So this is association of devotees. I realize that we will have just one more lecture on this tomorrow. So we should go a little faster. Because on Sunday evening, what is the program? Yagya?
No, Saturday is the yagya. Sunday we can also have a lecture.
Sorry?
Saturday evening is the yagya.
Yagya,
Sunday
yes.
we can have a lecture, a program.
Uh-huh. So we can continue this topic?
Do you know who's on the plan Sunday?
No, this morning you said that you will give on Sunday, no?
Yes.
But someone said...
Govinda Deo mentioned that we can have a general lecture or something. So we will see. Okay. Then the next stage in our spiritual progress is Sadhu Sanga, and then is Bhajana Kriya. Bhajana Kriya means performing of devotional service. So when we have faith and proper association, the devotees will engage us in service, and also we will take initiation from the spiritual master. If we really have faith in the process, then we'll surrender our life to spiritual master, because this is the process. And why is this the process? Because not, of course, we have to get spiritual knowledge, but we can get spiritual knowledge, we can say, also from Prabhupada's books. They're perfect, aren't they? But there is one aspect which is really important, and that means that we, first time in history of our existence, put someone else in the first place. Because we always wanted to be number one. And but now the Guru is number one. So it's important to accept spiritual master sincerely. If we don't accept spiritual master sincerely, just to be accepted among devotees, or for some fashion, or because he looks nice, or he sings very beautifully, or because I need some emotional backup, and so on. Prashad Singha ki jai. Then the time will come, then we will start to criticize our spiritual master. We'll hate our spiritual master. And this is subconscious development of our attitude. Because we will not be satisfied that we are not the number one. And we put someone else in the center, then we will, if we are not sincere, start to criticize him. We will find faults. And we will find excuses why not to follow. And why he's not really entitled to be my master. So it's important to do this really sincerely. Otherwise it's very dangerous. When we start to criticize our spiritual master, our spiritual life is lost. Completely lost. Yes. So we should, of course, know who is proper spiritual master. Also by these standards we mentioned at the beginning of, it's mentioned in the beginning of Upadeshamrita, of Nectar of Instruction. And as it's mentioned further on in Nectar of Instruction, he should be the one who is without any tinge of desire to criticize others. So he shouldn't criticize others. Otherwise, he's not following the right path, actually. But of course, spiritual master should be fixed in the pure devotional service, and also he should teach us what is right and what is not. Yes. So, and under his guidance, we engage in devotional service. But, as explained by acharyas, there is the stage of Anisthita Bhajana Kriya. Bhajana Kriya means devotional service under the guidance of spiritual master. But Anisthita means that we haven't attained the level of Nishta yet. Nishta means fixed devotional service. And this Anishtita Bhajana Kriya, because of course we know, even after Nishta we still serve. So there is Nishtita Bhajana Kriya, with fixed devotional service, and there is Anishtita Bhajana Kriya, not fixed devotional service. And there are 6 parts of Anishtita Bhajana Kriya. And first is Utsahamayi. And this is explained in Madhurya Kadambini of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Utsahamayi is false enthusiasm. And for example, the example is given if some young boy Brahmana studies scriptures, then he tends to think that I know everything. So he poses himself as pure devotee. So many times we can see that devotees that just are coming and becoming devotees, they think that they're pure devotees and that they know everything, and that they can judge others. Yes. So this is Utsahamayi. And then there is Gana Tarala. That means thick and thin. And this means that one day I'm very enthusiastic. I decide to chant, I don't know, 25 rounds or 32 rounds every day. But then we cannot go any further, and then we take a break for a month. This was a case, actually. One wanted to chant like Haridas Thakur, one disciple of Srila Prabhupada. That means 192 rounds every day. And when he wanted to go to Vrindavan and just chant. And Prabhupada, and he told this to Prabhupada, and Prabhupada told him not to do this. And he should really diligently chant at 16 rounds, at least 16 rounds, of course, but he should perform also other duties and so on. But he explained this Prabhupada instruction, direct instruction to him, that yes, Prabhupada told like this because he knows that for others, not for me, he knows that I'm so advanced. But for the benefit of others, he explained it to me like this. So he went to Vrindavan, and he was chanting and chanting. Everyone saw that he chants all day long. I don't know, he was living in a cave or something. And then after a while, a month or so, no one saw him. Where he is gone? Vaikuntha? He just went to Vaikuntha, and no one knew what happened. And then one devotee was driving through the US and America, and he stopped in some gas pump, and there was this devotee pumping gas to people. And he said, "Are you not in Vrindavan chanting all the way and all the time?" And he said that no. I chanted so much that I took a break now. And he didn't chant at all because I have chanted so much in advance. So I don't need to chant now. For I don't know how much time. He's free of chanting. Yes. So one day we want to get up for Mangalarati every day. We decide, but then it's not possible. Then we sleep till 10 o'clock. It's Ganatarala. One time we are really enthusiastic, and one time we're not enthusiastic at all. Then it is Vyuda Vikalpa. We don't know what is proper to do. If we should just leave everything in this world and go to Vrindavan, or should I take care of my family, or should I join the ashram, or what is my duty? What should I perform? This indecision in devotional service. It's Vyuda Vikalpa. This is the sign that we are not fixed in our devotional service. We should perform our duty according to our ashram and not be disturbed by any other ideas. Everything will come naturally. We don't need to change ashram. We need to change our consciousness. This is most important. Yes. So, after Vyuda Vikalpa comes Vishaya Sangara. We are not able to control our senses. Of course, because we identify with our body, it's not easy to not associate, not to identify with our body, because we are accustomed to identify with the body from time immemorial. So we may know theoretically that we are not this body, but still we try to enjoy this material world. So many times especially in this stage of Anisthita Bhajana Kriya, we are not able to control our senses. So we overeat or we do other things that are not good for devotional service. So we fight with our senses. Yes. And then is niyamakshama. Niyamakshama is inability to improve our sadhana. That means we want to increase our devotional service, but we are not able to. We go to our previous standards. Yes, this is different from Vishaya Sangara, inability to control our senses, and inability to improve our devotional service. This is the question of the senses, and this is the question of our practice. Yes, and then is Tarangarangini. When we serve for many years as devotees, we naturally gain respect from others, and we pose as a big devotees and we get some facilities. We are put in some special room, or we get special prasadam. The Mahaprasad is saved for us. Of course, nowadays, and especially in West, in the West, there is not much devotees, so there is also not much respect. But we also like to cling to this tiny respect, especially if we are influenced by this Taranga Rangini. That means the waves of enjoyment. The waves of enjoyment. Yes. So we should be very careful to avoid these pitfalls on the path of devotional service, to avoid this Anisthita Bhajana Kriya, and try to become fixed. So, next time, tomorrow, we will discuss Anartha-Nivritti. And this is one of the most important topics, Anartha-Nivritti. Because it's, especially if we don't have proper understanding of pure devotional service, then Anartha-Nivritti is not possible. So probably, that means that we cannot get rid of anarthas. Yes. So, is there any questions or comments or doubts? Yes, please.
When you spoke about these things, it's a lot about I'm not able to do this, I'm not able to do that. So my question is then, that ability to overcome those obstacles, is it just a question of desire and try again and again and again, or is there something beyond that?
Desire is, of course, extremely important. If we don't have this desire, we can never achieve our goal. Especially if we start to think that this is natural, so it's not a problem for me. But of course, it is a problem. We should know that this is a problem and that we should overcome this. So desire is first. If without desire, we cannot achieve anything. But then, besides desire, and of course to be sincerely endeavoring, desire means that you sincerely endeavor for something. This is the indicator of the desire. But along with this desire and trying hard to rectify ourselves, we should also seek company of those who are fixed in devotional service. Yes, because then we will attract their qualities and glorify those devotees. Even and study also acharyas. The songs of acharyas are full of humility, of their inability, so-called inability to control their senses and so on, and inability to develop love for Krishna. And by their mood, we can imbibe proper mood ourselves. Yes, and of course association is extremely important. So we should acquire proper association of fixed devotees and listen very carefully. Hearing is again important. By hearing we can understand, yes, this is important. I should pursue this goal. I should become fixed. But if we don't hear, then our enthusiasm will go away. And without enthusiasm, we cannot achieve anything. Not materially, not spiritually. Nothing. Therefore, Rupa Goswami says in Upadeshamrita, utsaha, that means enthusiasm, is first. Yes. Utsaha nishchaya daryat. Of course, we should also be very patient and determined, but without enthusiasm, nothing will happen. So we should be very enthusiastic. Whatever we want to achieve, even material things. If you're not enthusiastic about what you're doing, you will not achieve anything. So it's also extremely important in devotional service to be enthusiastic. And enthusiasm we get from those who have enthusiasm. Therefore we should hear a lot and try to associate with those who have enthusiasm. Okay? Anything else? Okay, thank you very much for your attention. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Pramanandi Hari